It is Monday, early March 2021, and last week ended with RNG at the shop at Summit 4x4 Company in Prescott, Arizona. The Jeep was getting looked at for a wandering steering issue, and the guys at Summit decided that they would like to replace the steering box, which is the original steering box. It has 176,000 miles on it, and they agreed that there seemed to be some slop. They weren't able to get the work done this past Friday because they had to order the steering box. But we spent the weekend in Prescott. It's Monday morning. I'm back at the shop, and they're going to pick up where they left off.
Yeah, probably something close to it.
Yeah. Still, haven't been able to find it yet.
Yeah.
Do we have a set of JK wheels?
I think we do.
Yeah.
You see, right here, you get this is not a perfectly tapered edge anymore, so. And this one's got a little bit of ovaling in it, so it's actually forward and backwards.
Okay.
Just a little.
A few weeks ago, I mentioned that my lug nuts were loose and that I had a wheel clicking issue. Well, the guys at Summit are looking into it, and they took a close look at the cone seat on my factory Rubicon wheels, and indeed they look a little bit wallowed, a little bit elongated. We're pretty sure that that's the source of the clicking noise. So right now they're trying on another set of Jeep JK wheels, and they're going to take it for a spin to see if that solves the problem.
Yeah,
You want a burger?
I'm good, but thank you for offering.
Alright, are you sure?
I'll have a burger.
Alright, do you want ketchup?
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. Chris, should you be preparing food for people other than yourself? Is that safe for them, especially for someone who is working on your Jeep? Well, I made sure that Cam's burger patty was thoroughly cooked, and he seemed to enjoy it, so... You got it? Alright, go ahead and send that out. Okay.
My tongue. Why doesn't Cam have this job? My bed is not big enough.
Alright, it's 5 p.m. in Prescott, Arizona, and I just left Summit 4x4 Company. The guys took great care of Orangey, and I have new wheels and new lug nuts to take care of the clicking situation, and I also have a new power steering box. So the Jeep feels a lot tighter on the road, and I can drive with a little bit more confidence. It's Tuesday morning, and after leaving Prescott last night, I drove about 150 miles south and found this spot to camp in the Sonoran Desert. The Jeep feels phenomenal. Thank you to everyone at Summit. You did a great job. It's tracking great on the highway. I feel much safer and much more at ease, and I believe the wheel and lug nut issue is sorted. It's not clicking anymore. We'll know for sure by the end of today. I forgot my French press in the van. I used it to make coffee in the van this weekend, and I forgot to put it back in Orangey, so I don't have coffee this morning. That's a problem, because you probably ask, Chris, where do you get your energy for adventure? And the answer is coffee, caffeine. It's not eating things with nutritional value. It's caffeine, that surge of energy in the morning, and then in the afternoon I crash, and let's not talk about that. But I will make do. I'll get through the next day or 2 or 3 without it. And I have coffee grounds, so maybe I can just mix them into water if it comes down to it. Maybe an old spring house out here in the desert? I don't know. I thought it was maybe a spring house because it was next to the water tower, but I don't see any plumbing or basins. Might be an old tiger pen. I'm always talking about chasing warm weather. Well, I found it. It is early March, and my dashboard says that it's 79 degrees outside. Now, if I could only find a swimming hole out here in the desert. looky what we have here. Mylar in the desert. That will not stand. This campground is a treasure. I didn't see any indication that it was back here aside from an icon on Gaia GPS. It's a developed backcountry campground with 3 sites that will accommodate vehicles. There are fire rings, picnic tables, and there is a vault toilet, which that's a pretty big deal for me. I really like vault toilets. Not in a weird way. I am so pleasantly surprised by this place, and I can't believe that I'm the only one here. Needless to say, I'm going to spend the night, maybe 2 nights. I might not have coffee, but I have tea. That I can do. The Sonoran Desert in southern Arizona. Every time that I visit this desert, I have a serene experience just like this. It's probably close to 6 p.m. The sun is setting. I've got a hot cup of tea, and it's close to, I would say, 75 degrees Fahrenheit outside. This is a beautiful place, and it's very much worth your time. During my walk this morning, I found some really nice dispersed campsites along this track. So I'm going to come back in the Jeep, finish exploring the rest of this track, and then settle in at the new spot. Trying something a little bit different tonight. I am ground tenting. Yes, even though the Jeep is right there, but this is such a beautiful place. I just want to experience it a little bit more closely before I leave. The tent is an MSR Hubba Hubba NX 2-person backpacking tent. And the air mattress is a Nemo Tensor insulated. Now all I have to do is wait for the wind to subside. There's no escape from it, I'm afraid. It's supposed to be like this for the remainder of the day. I think it's going to be like this for the remainder of the day, but it's supposed to die down by evening, so I am expecting a calm night of sleep. I think that I need to rethink my plan for tonight. I was really excited for an idyllic desert tent camping experience. After I was done setting up the tent, I got in the Jeep and drove a couple miles down the road to get good cell service so I could see the weather forecast. And it is just supposed to get worse. 23 mile per hour winds now, 27 mile per hour winds around 5 p.m. It does get better in the evening, but still 18 mile per hour. I'm going to go take down the tent that I just set up and use this time to seek out a base camp closer to town. This wouldn't have happened if I had coffee. It wasn't that I couldn't manage the wind. I could have stayed at camp, hunkered down in RNG, but the problem was the wind made it really hard to do video recording. I decided that it'd be better use of my time to hit the road and seek out a base camp for the weekend. So that's what I did all this afternoon, scouting for a campsite. Right now, it's 8:30 p.m. I'm not far from Picacho, and I found this great flat spot in the desert. There's good cell service, it's very private, and it's also a stone's throw from the highway, so we can get into Tucson or one of the nearby towns fairly easily. It's just me and RNG again tonight, but I did meet up briefly with my girlfriend Shannon in the Revel, and I got my French press. So the coffee situation is sorted. Love it when the birds are singing in the morning. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, the wind is way down, and I'm at our end-of-week base camp. The end-of-week base camp is where I spend the better part of 2 or 3 days on my computer, editing video and catching up on social media and stuff like that. Also, more recently, with the addition of the Winnebago Revel and traveling in tandem with Shannon, this is where we reunite at the end of the week. So starting every Thursday night, the criteria of the campsite is that it must accommodate both RNG and the Revel. It must have very good cell service so we can both work and I can hotspot my computer. Otherwise, it can take several hours to upload a YouTube video. Ideally, it should also be quiet, lovely, and a short drive back to infrastructure so we can get groceries if we need them or refill the water tank on the Revel. So this isn't on iOverlander or anything. I found this spot organically and it checks most of the boxes. We're a little bit far from infrastructure. I think we have everything we need for the weekend, so it shouldn't be a problem. This sandwich maker thing is a Snow Peak Tremezino. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I get asked that a lot, and it's a really quick and easy way to make sandwiches. And the cleanup is very little. Oh, gross. Come on, man. I also get asked about this a lot, my collapsible pot. This is a Sea to Summit X pot. It's very compact when it's collapsed and very spacious when it's expanded. I use it to boil water and cook pasta, and I got it from REI. You can find it on the shelf there, and you can also find it in a lot of different online retailers and outdoor gear shops. I've also been asked on Patreon, what do I use to mount the MaxTrax recovery boards to my tailgate? And this assembly takes 3 different components. It takes the HD hinge by TerraFlex, the GP Factor mounting bracket, and the GP Factor MaxTrax latch kit. I'm extremely happy with this setup. This is my personal opinion, but I don't feel like there's a better place to put them on a Jeep Wrangler JK. They fit perfectly in this space and they're very easy to access. We also recently got a set of MaxTrax for the van. And a company called Agile Off-Road makes a bracket kit that lets you mount them right here across the Revel load bars. Right now we're just storing the MaxTrax awkwardly in the back of the van, but we want to order that kit from Agile and get these up here ASAP. I know there's a lot of different mounting options for these MaxTrax, but I would personally prefer to mount them right here on the roof. They're at the top of the ladder. The ladder is very easy to climb. This is a nice sturdy mounting point, and I want to keep the tailgate of the van as clear as possible. It's the first week in March, and it's sweltering out here. I think I am going to have a little bit of sunburn after this week. I love the van. If you're a four-wheel drive or any automotive enthusiast and you get your new vehicle, you go down a rabbit hole of learning about the community, the modifications, the aftermarket, and what you can do with the vehicle. I've been a four-wheel drive enthusiast, driving predominantly Jeeps for, how old am I? 25 years now? And that platform is extremely familiar to me, and now I'm in something different. I feel like I'm getting in on the ground floor again. There's so much to learn, and it's exciting. The Winnebago Revel on the four-wheel drive Sprinter platform is remarkably capable. But the fact of the matter is, I can throw the Jeep down any trail with wild abandon, not have to worry about branches. If I flop on the side, so be it. And that's not the case with the Revel. Oh, this wind! It's back. Without further ado, before the wind blows the camera away, I'm going to call that a wrap for the week. I hope you enjoyed this week's adventure in southern Arizona. Love, love, love the Sonoran Desert. It's lush and teeming with life and so beautiful. If there's a takeaway from this week's episode, it's to visit this part of the United States. But as usual, thank you all for following along, and I will catch up with you again next week.